Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Jo Bronwyn from Behold Video. Have you ever just felt like creating animated graphics or motion graphics just takes forever? I want to show you how to create animations like this, and like this. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Ta-da! So I am on canva.com here. You may be using Canva already. It's an amazing tool for editing photos, for creating graphics, and it also has incredible capabilities for video. So I'm really excited about some of the things that you can do in here, particularly the animations you can create. So first of all, I'm going to go to create a design, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and click Instagram post, which is 1080 by 1080. Now, this is going to be just the perfect size for me to create some graphics and add them to my videos. I'm actually just going to click the background of my canvas, and I'm going to go over to the colors selection in the top left, and I'm going to turn it bright green. Okay, so what I'm basically trying to do is to create a green screen. So first of all, I'm going to select this lovely yellow one, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now, obviously, you want to be using PNG files, logo files, something that you've already created. I will also show you how to do this if you don't have these already and you just want to use different elements in a second. But this is one that I already have, and it's got a clear background. Okay, so it's a PNG with a clear background. So that's basically all I have to do in terms of design. And I'm going to go to Animate over in the top left, and I'm going to choose one of these animations. Now, my favorite is this one, Pop. It's just really nice the way it just like pops on. There's loads of different ones on here. Some of them are really playful. Neon sometimes looks really good. You've just got a simple fade. This rise, pan, and stomp is quite cool as well. It's like, okay, so you can really have fun with these. So you can just decide whichever one you want. Now, obviously, there's not hundreds of options in here. I imagine they're going to start adding more and more things, but it's a really great start, okay? So then once that's ready, I'm just going to go ahead and click download, and I'm going to download the MP4 video like this. I just actually dribbled tea down my chin. Okay, so that one's saved. So before I jump over to Premiere Pro, I'm going to show you if you were to create a different element. So let's say you want your name to come up along the bottom. So I probably do this in two different sections. So first of all, I'm going to go over to elements on the left, and I'm going to find something like squiggle sticker maybe. Let's see if there's anything that hand draws itself. Okay, there's some nice ones coming up. It's really slow. I quite like this one is moving, so I quite like this. So we have this, and then I'm gonna go over to my text tool, and I'm gonna choose a font. They've got these really lovely new like glowing fonts, which are quite cool. Okay, so maybe something like this. I love that. Now I'm gonna type in my name. Ooh, it's really big. Make it so it all fits on one line. And I love Canva because it's really intuitive. Oh no, I lost it. I just love how intuitive it is. So you don't need a huge amount of training for Canva. So I really like the way that looks. Now, if you're kind of like, sometimes with the colors, with the green, it kind of throws it off. You can always just get rid of the green for a bit and make sure you put it on at the end. You can edit like this so that you can get an idea of like the true color. So how it's actually gonna look, and just drag it like this. Now I'm gonna wanna say my company name as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste this. And I'm gonna write Behold Video. Like this. Maybe I'm going to actually make it so that it comes in between these lines. Okay, so I'm going to get it a little bit smaller. And really, you can really just play around with this. and just get it to a place where you feel like it's you. I mean, this isn't very on brand for me, but it's just to show you the possibilities. Like, the possibilities really are endless with Canva. It's a really nice idea to try and get like a sticker if you can find any like lines that move, or like, let's see if we get wiggle sticker. Oops. In our element, sorry. There you go. It's a good idea just to try out different words, see what comes up. So this, yeah, look, so this is kind of cool as well. You get like this that draws itself, so you could actually, you can start to really play around here, start to layer some of these things as well. It's going to take a little bit of fiddling to get it right. I need to think about the point of this arrow, because I love the wiggle, but I'm also like, why is there an arrow? Maybe it's going to come along underneath like this. Okay, so now I'm like really happy with all of those, but I'm not totally convinced I'm going to be able to do them all on one page. So I'll show you what I mean. If I go over to the play button, press play. Okay, that's not bad. So what's really nice about Canva is that it does them one by one, even if they're on one page. If that doesn't happen, you have to break each element down, and I'll just show you how to do that in case you need to. But I'm quite happy with the way that comes. But let's say it doesn't come on exactly how I want it to. I will break these into the different sections. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections. So I'm actually just going to go duplicate. Oops, don't bin it, duplicate, duplicate, okay? So I now have 4 pages of the same thing, and let's think about the order in which I want these to come up. So maybe I want the lines to come up first, right? So page 1 is just these wiggly sea lines, like the waves. And then I want maybe my name to come up, so I'm gonna delete these 2. And I'm actually going to delete the lines as well. Then I want the whole video to come up. So I'm going to get rid of all the rest. And you see how they're all in the same position, okay? So that's really going to help us. Okay, so I just need to turn all of these backgrounds green. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'll do in Premiere Pro after I've created all of these. So when I download them separately like this, I don't want to download them all together, because it's going to come up, they're all going to be separate. So what I want to do is go to select pages, and I'm going to do 1 by 1, page 1. It takes a little bit longer to do it this way, but you just get more control over at what time the different things appear. Because Canva kind of just does it its own way. Like, it gives you, like, in 5 seconds they'll all pop up, but you don't have any control over when they come up. But in Premiere Pro you have more control about when they appear and things like that. So it's a really nice idea just to break them down in this way. So then if I don't already have some logo elements of my own, and I just want to use like stickers or GIFs, you can go into the elements section of Canva, and they have loads of different GIFs and stickers. So maybe I want this email sticker. Okay, so something like this to show, check your email. I don't know, you can think about how you might want to use stuff like this. So they've just got loads of really fun little stickers on here, so you might want to use something like this. And I'm going to download it. Yeah. So now I'm just going to quickly show you this because it's really important. I'm going to go ahead and move these into a folder so they're nice and organized, okay? So when you're working with Adobe Premiere Pro, you just want to stay really nice and organized. So this is a little bonus for you. If this has been helpful so far, please make sure you just like the video for me. I'm going to jump right in and show you how I'm going to make this a beautiful animation over my videos in Premiere Pro. Now remember, you can still do this in iMovie and in Final Cut Pro as well, but I'm showing you in Premiere Pro because it's my favorite tool to use. Okay, so I'm going to go over to a folder here, and I have my YouTube folder, and I'm going to create a new folder, and it's going to say Animated Graphics. Okay, and I'm going to have my project folder, my footage folder, and I'm going to have my graphics folder like this. Okay, And I'm going to go ahead and put all of these into my graphics folder. Okay, so it's all of these green ones here. And I'll just make sure it's on the line so they don't go all over the place. And now they're in a folder, okay, so that's like safe for me to create something and open a project. So next I'm going to jump over to Premiere Pro. Okay, so once I've got Premiere Pro open and I've got all of my media in the right place, so I've got my video in my footage folder here, and I've got all my graphics from Canva in my graphics folder here, I'm going to go ahead and go to the part of the video where I want to put the graphics. So here I do a little point here, and I want this graphic to come up just above my finger. I mean, ideally I'd be pointing like right up at it, but hey, we're not aiming for perfect, we're just aiming for good, right? So let's go and grab my B, and you'll see I'm just gonna kind of put it over the position. Let's see where my bing, so I definitely want it to pop on then. And I know you're freaking out because it is bright green, but I promise I'm gonna fix it. So what I'm gonna do before I do anything else is go up to the effects panel up in the top right-hand corner, and I'm gonna type in Ultra. I'm going to go down to, it's under video effects, keying Ultra key. I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag it right onto that clip, okay? Then if I go up to the effect controls in the top left corner, effect controls, I will see here, Ultra key, effects, Ultra key, okay? So I can go to this little pipette, it says black. So I'm going to take that pipette and I'm going to go over to the actual graphic, and I'm going to go kind of close to the B, and click, and it's going to get rid of that green. So it's actually selecting that color to remove, so it's working. This is a green screen effect. So if you were ever to do anything with a green screen, this is exactly the same tool you would use for that. But I'm using it for graphics. Now there's a slight tiny green outline around my graphics. So I'm going to go to matte cleanup and go to choke, and I'm going to just like reduce, I'm going to increase that, sorry. But like I don't want to lose my design, so it's kind of finding that balance about there, okay? So obviously I don't want it to pop up over my face. So it's still in the effect controls panel. I'm going to move my graphic simply by using this position and scale. I'm going to change it, so I'm going to move it up here. And I'm probably going to make it a little bit smaller. Okay, maybe like this. So let's watch it. Okay, perfect. And then I'm just using my arrows just to go by through frame by frame. So like my left and right arrows going back and forth. And so basically there is when I want the next one to come. So let's say I want it to be this one. Okay, so this would be the one where I don't have my own animated graphics and I've used one from Canva. If you have Canva Pro, you can use these, okay? I'm going to drag the Ultra key onto this clip now and go to Effect Controls. And oops, I'm going to do the Ultra key like this. Oopsie. Undo and try again. There we go. And again, I just got like the tiniest little outline. Okay, nice, much better. And again, I'm going to use the position and scale tools to get it to the right size. So it's going to be like this, okay? So let's watch it back. Okay, so my only thing is like it kind of comes too close to my finger in my opinion, so I'm going to put it more like this. Okay, so if I was going to be really clever, I could add like a little sound effect underneath, so it'd be like, okay, so you want to find one of those sound effects, you can add those sound effects really easily, and that's going to really make it really dynamic, okay, to add those in. So then I show, oh look, oh, like this. Now, something I want to do is I want to keep these on the screen longer than they actually are. So one of the ways I can do that is either by in Canva making it a much longer animation, so making it like 30 seconds, or in Premiere Pro, if it's too late and I didn't do that in the first place, I can just take the piece, make sure I'm on the right line, so select V2 and paste it. And I'm going to zoom in and make sure that it's like right up. And I'm actually going to go to speed duration. I'm going to right click, go speed duration and reverse speed. And that's just going to make sure it stays on there a bit longer. And the same for this one. Okay, Make sure it's on the right line. And great, and I'm just going to reverse speed this one too, okay? So what that actually means is it's reversed the clip so that at the end it's going to animate off exactly like it animated on, okay? So I'm going to decide later when I want that to happen, but for now I really need them to stay on while I show this next part, okay? So the next part is the more complicated part because remember we broke it down into several pieces, so we're going to have quite a few layers here. So first of all, it's this one here, behold video. This is the first one, remember these waves. So that's the first one that's going to go on. So let's find the frame where I want it to come on. So maybe here, okay? And we can jig it around, so if we change our mind when we watch it back, that's not a problem. So I'm going to Ultra key again, this piece, and go to Effect Controls. Just make sure that you're on the section where you actually see the GIF before you use the Ultra key selection tool. So here we go. That's done it perfectly. So now I'm going to move that down here. And remember, I've got that other line that's going to come underneath. So I want to kind of, yeah, like round about here. Okay. So then I'm going to want, so we've got like, this is going to come up first. And maybe like as soon as it starts coming up, like that first line, then I'm going to add the second part. So we're going to go here. I've got Joe Bronwyn here. So my name's going to come up. And I'm going to drag the Ultra key onto that clip now. Drag out so I can see it and go to Effect Controls. Take the eyedropper or selection tool. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, now what I want to do is go to where it says Behold Video, the one underneath that I edited. I'm going to copy. I'm going to right click and press click copy. And I'm actually going to paste the motion attributes, okay? And that's going to move it into the exact position, okay, and scale that I created it in Canva, okay? So it's like this. Okay, so I need to decide, so we got the line comes up, Joe Bronwyn comes up, and then maybe here is where I want the next part to come up. So that's the Behold Video part, right? So I'm going to drag the whole clip onto the timeline where my scrubber is. And I'm going to drag the Ultra key onto this one. So there's lots of layering going on here, but it's a really fast way to create an animation because this would take a day probably using After Effects. If you're not a professional. So yeah, I think it's a really nice quick way of doing this. So oops, again, I want to make sure I can see it, Behold Video. And I'm going to grab my selection eyedropper tool. And I've actually already copied, so I'm just going to go paste attributes and make sure motion is selected and nothing else. And it's going to move it right where I want it. The color's slightly, now this happens sometimes, the color's gone slightly funny because it's smaller and because of that green screen, it just slightly affected the color. This will happen sometimes when you're doing it this way. It's not foolproof. The bigger the text is, the better. A work around this would be to actually create the Behold Video much bigger and then shrink it to size in here by adjusting like this. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. By adjusting it like this, okay? But for now, this is, I'm okay with this. It's actually not a terrible color. It still fits. So I'm gonna keep it like this, okay? So we've got these come up, pop, 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 and then let's think straight away here, this is where I want that last one to come in, which is that colorful arrow. So you can see you can really start to build these layers and it's super fun and it looks really good. It looks really professional and it doesn't take that long, okay? And let's make sure I can see the arrow. Go to the key color eyedropper tool. I'm going to do a little bit of a matte cleanup on it. Do you see how it's got like that edging? I just want to take it off. And oops, undo that. And I'm going to paste again, so the motion, so it should go exactly where it's supposed to. That looks good to me. Now the only thing is, like maybe now that it's all together as one design, maybe I kind of want to like move it around a little bit. But the best way to do that would be to actually like, let's just actually take this arrow and think like, okay, I probably want it to come like here. Yeah, okay, so that arrow is the last one. And I'm gonna now copy that, and I'm gonna just select the other three, and I'm gonna paste the motion, okay? So this is a really nice way in Premiere Pro that you can kind of like alter, you can really quickly adjust things, okay? It's like it's basically copying and pasting. Now, lastly, these waves just don't look great like this, so I want to just move those over slightly, and therefore I'm going to copy that one and then paste it onto the rest, just to make sure that it's all aligned how I want it to be. Now looking at it in here, I feel like the my name could just come up. Maybe it's just the wiggle. Maybe when it plays, yeah, it's fine when it plays. Okay, so let's actually just watch that back through. You ready? Okay, so I actually did two different versions there. What I'm going to do is get rid of that second version, and I'm going to slow down my first version. Okay. It's that last bit I'm going to slow right down, where I'm not speaking. Okay, so you get the idea, and you can just play around with that. So if I was being really pernickety, I'd probably want to make my name, that whole like section, like a bit smaller. I don't feel like it's the most amazing one I've ever made, but you get the idea of what's possible. And obviously you can go ahead and create different things for yourself. I would love, love, love to see them create an effect where it's like you can paint something on. So like, let's say these lines, they look like they're painting on. If they can add an animation that like that, or like a handwriting one, so like the letters animate, there are ways you can do that. I am going to create a tutorial about how to animate your fonts. It will take a bit longer because it's going to be an After Effects tutorial, but this is just a really simple way if you're just getting started with video, or if you're just looking for something quick that's still going to look good and still going to pop and be colorful and fun. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, please do leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos about how to make your videos awesome.